see that one?
Oh, yes. What is your strategy?
It says, what is your strategy to run a competitive campaign for school board, and will you commit to rejecting donations and support from privatization-linked organizations such as Go Public Schools and the California Charter School Association?
Yes. The first part of the question, what is your strategy to run a competitive campaign for schools? Things have changed, as you know, and I've been thinking about, with this coronavirus, how can I run a competitive campaign? And it's difficult because how I started off is by going to schools and meeting. I haven't gone to WAMS. I was going to go to West Oakland Middle School, but I went to Prescott. I went to Hoover. I went to Simmons. I was going to go shelter in place just to meet the teachers, meet the students, meet the parents. And that's how I started off. The second part, so I've been thinking, how can I reach out to you guys now that we are in shelter in place? So that is something that we are trying to figure out now. Will I reject donations and support from privatization linked to organizations such as Go Public Schools? Yes, yes, yes. My feelings on charter schools is I'm totally against it. They don't accept all children. My son cannot go to a charter school and get the support that he needs. Then why are you here? You know, I am totally against charter. Just real, and I can't stress that even more. And especially because, that my son used to go to Thurgood Marshall and it closed and a charter school popped up there. And my son couldn't go to that school. And ever since then, and how they operate, I would definitely go against Go Public Schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what is your strategy to run a competitive campaign for school board, and will you commit to rejecting donations and support from privatization-linked organizations such as Go Public Schools and the California Charter School Association?
I would say that I don't fully agree with the characterization of an organization like Go Public Schools as a privatization organization. I think that's maybe a little bit of a narrow definition of where they come from and what they're trying to do. I am raising my money directly from family and friends, so I am reaching out to family and friends to raise money. I'm not particularly seeking donations from Go Public Schools, but I don't think that that's necessarily an accurate representation of what their mission is and what they stand for. I've been involved with that organization for a number of years and have seen them do work that I think is beneficial to students in Oakland across the entire city. So as far as the Charter Schools Association, I don't know anybody there. I don't know how I'd reach out to them or seek their donations or their support. I am very interested in having the support of the Oakland Teachers Union as a former OEA member myself. I think I stand for the same things that a lot of the teachers in this district stand for. I think we are in agreement that the conditions under which teachers teach are the conditions under which students learn. And I think the conditions that they teach under need to be improved significantly. I will say that one of the reasons that I left teaching was because as an older person, I taught as a much older, I started as an older person, and I just really couldn't afford to live on the salary of a starting teacher in Oakland. I had commitments and obligations here that made it impossible for me to really survive on that salary. And I think that's an unfortunate situation, because I think a lot of people would really like to be able to teach in this community and need the support of the resources that they need to have to do that. So I'm looking for an endorsement from OEA, and I would love to have your support during this campaign.
Thank you.
Okay. So the question is, what is your strategy to run a competitive campaign for school board, and will you commit to rejecting donations and support from privatization linked organizations such as Go Public Schools and the California Charter School Association?
Yeah, I don't like them folks, so I'm definitely not taking any money from them at all. My strategy and campaign has definitely changed since Corona. I understand that it's going to have to be a lot of logistics of via Zoom, probably a lot of social media. But I do definitely want to be able to interact with as many people as possible, whether those are former parents, grandparents, community-based sites, organizations that function with our students, or the community that and the village that takes care of a student. And I'm going to try to be as legal and compliant with whatever laws that come up with our Corona situation to do so. But I really want to get as much intel from them and their perspective as to move forward with what I believe I'm elected for school board candidate to do for the next coming years.
Thank you.
So, all right, our second question is, what is your strategy to run a competitive campaign for school board? And will you commit to rejecting donations and support from privatization linked organizations such as Go Public Schools and California Charter School Association?
So I will 100%, thank you. I will 100% reject any donations from any privateers or CCA. I am 100% a full-fledged union member, teacher, and I stand by that. And I stand by that. My particular strategy to win is I'm hiring a campaign manager right now. I've also have close relationships with Angela Norman. I've been a part of her particular campaign. I would definitely reach out to her. I think that I will also move towards CTA statewide connections that I have since I've been a delegate for the last 10 years. I don't have a lot of money, but I have people power and grassroots power. So I really want to get involved with community members. I want educators to help me energize my campaign. I'm not afraid to work hard. I'm going to talk to the community, hold community forums, and see what the community members are wanting me to do. I will represent them. I'm grassroots. I plan on asking for funding from CTA, and I will continue to raise money from educators as well. 32 seconds. So again, I lead with a racial justice lens. So I will definitely be in the community. I think it's really important for me to connect with the grassroots organizations. As a teacher in San Francisco, one of my successes, one of my biggest successes, were actually connecting with the community organizations and bringing them into my classroom. The kids understood that relationship. I want to continue that relationship in Oakland. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That kind of connects to our next question. What is your strategy to run a competitive campaign for school board? And will you commit to rejecting donations and support from privatization linked organizations such as Go Public Schools and the California Charter School Association?
Okay.
Sorry, pause. The chat, Jamila, can you post the questions? Because my chat is the same.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so obviously, since part of my reason for living is to stop privatizers, I would never take money from them. I don't think they want to give it to me. Also, since this is a ranked choice election, I worked during the election where Jean Quan won in the mayoral election, and I realized how important the idea of ranked choice voting is, because it means that we can have 3 candidates who are strong progressives, anti-privatizers in each of the districts, and people can be told, okay, you choose 1, 2, 3, which ones? But that's how she won, was she didn't win a majority, but when you counted the second and third votes. And so I really think this is a chance for all of us to be working together to spread the word. I was talking to a woman about the Oakland schools, and she said, I told her about privatization, and she said, oh, I thought that was a conspiracy theory. And the point is, it's not a theory, and we're not nuts. And we need to get the message out about how we need, as a community, to take back our schools. And so I see myself as working within a united front, and being just one of a variety of people who are raising this. And then hopefully we'll have the chance to have all 4 seats flipped, and then we're in control of the board, and we're going to have to change a lot of stuff. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Including, which may be the next question, board policy
Yeah, sorry about
I mean 6006.
Space in between them, and I forgot, like if I press return, it'll post it. It won't do a space.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm not looking at the
Okay.
questions, but that's like, what's the first thing you're going to do? And that's the first thing is to say, Jamoki Hodge was saying the other day, but we have to do this. We're legally required to. Oh, I think that was when she was arguing that they needed to co-locate Francophone at Brookfield, which was horrendous to do that during lockdown. And it's not legal. I mean, they made up this policy and it can be changed. I was thinking the other day, what's the wording for what we say? We support community schools. We will not favor privatizers. We're going to have to work on we're going to have to look at cutting anybody who does not work directly with children. I think we're going to be losing a lot of money after this COVID-19 mess we're in. The state's not going to have money. We're going to need to be bare bones, but that's, I think, going to be my deciding line, is if you don't work with kids, your job is not safe. And that means there are some contractors who are actually after school programs. I don't want to cut those, but I do want to cut people who are sitting and doing studies of, we don't have time to be paying people to talk about studying something when what we need to get is to get it done. We don't need to have all that testing. Testing doesn't help kids, doesn't help us know anything about the kids. So I get rid of all the testing except for what's absolutely mandated by state. So that'll cut a bunch of jobs. Anyway, we can't necessarily, I'd get rid of the cops. As we've discovered from experience, you can't do that immediately because they have union contracts. But we can give them warning and we can get it started on day 1. You should start looking for someplace else to work. And because we're not planning on keeping this up. This is ridiculous to have a school police department.
So